Okay, I'm going to be performing a accuracy check and a calibration for the Alco sensor VXL. It's a DOT certified alcohol machine, testing machine. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my tank and pull out my regulator. One time I tried to get ahead of myself, and it asked me to submit a sample before I had my tank ready, and it gave me an error, and I had to call Alco Pro to walk me through how to get it out of that error mode. I apologize. I know this is I'm on with my tripod, but you can see that I've got three quarters of a tank left, and the information that you'll see me verifying is going to be the expiration date, the tank number, all the information that's on here. You have to, when you first get a new tank, every time you get a new tank, you got to enter all the information for the tank into the system, and it stays stored in there until you get a new tank. Then you have to re-enter all the information. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my handheld device out, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze this trigger, and that's how I'm navigating through the screen. I can do that, or I could have it in here and just press return, and it'll take me through the same thing. So I'm going to click on and I hope you can see this. What I want to do is a quality test, so I'm going to click on that, and it's going to ask me for my password. So I'll put the device in here, and I will type my password as admin, ADMIN, hit return, and then it's going to come up accuracy check. You got a couple other calibrations. So I'm going to squeeze the trigger and do accuracy check. It's going to ask me all the information that's on the tank, where it's a dry tank. So I'm just pushing the trigger. The lot number, so I'm pushing the trigger again. Tank number 19, and the expiration date, and then it wants me to verify the data. If I hit no, it will let me continue. If I hit yes, it's going to take me through the whole process of the expiration date, tank number, and all that. So I'm going to hit no, and then this is going to be test number 139, and my range is going to be 0.36. So I'm going to install the mouthpiece and install mouthpiece. I'm going to hit yes. It's going to do a blank check, and you'll hear it click in just a minute. There you go. Now it should come up 0000, and there we go. Now it's going to ask me to submit a sample, and this is where I didn't have my tank ready and I got the error. So I've got it ready. Now it's going to say submit sample. So I'm going to put this in here. Squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to squeeze the trigger. Now it's going to be analyzing the air sample that I gave it, and it is 0.036. It's right on the money. And it's asking me if I'm connected to the printer, so I will put it in the docking station, and I will hit enter, and it will print out. I didn't turn my printer on, I'm sorry. It will print out the information. Now this, I would take this, and it's I've got a roll, I think another roll in here of the double-sided tape. I would take this and peel it off and I would enter this information into my logbook, and all I'm doing is the test number, the date that I took it, my name, where I was, and I did accuracy check, and then the lot number of the tank, and then where my ranges fell. And I've never had any problems with this machine not being in the correct accuracy range. If it's out of range, again, everything is going to be in this manual, and plus I'm going to include the training book that I was given for my classroom training. Then I would take this sticker, and I have a bunch of these papers, and I'll stick it to the paper, and I'll write the month. And it's very important that you do this if you're doing any kind of pre-employment testing. And let's say somebody fails the alcohol test and said the guy's machine, it wasn't right. Or the DOT did an audit on the company. They would want to see this information and make sure that you're doing an accuracy check every month and the machine's up to caliber. Which this is a brand new machine, less than 140 tests on this machine. Now, to do a calibration, let's say somebody failed, they blew a .020. That's just some residual alcohol possibly. Well, yeah, you'll have to wait like 20 minutes, and while you're waiting, you want to run an accuracy check and a calibration in that 20-minute period, just in case that guy is intoxicated, and you can verify that your machine was up to par. So again, I'm just going to click on here, and I'm going to, on this, go to the test menu. I'm going to scroll down. All I'm doing is pushing this button to scroll down, and I want to find the main menu. I squeeze my trigger, and then it's going to ask me for my password again. I'll put it in the docking station. ADMIN, enter. And then again, my quality assurance test is going to come up, and I am going to squeeze the trigger to get to the next screen where I want to scroll down and do a calibration. I squeeze the trigger, and now it's asking me for the same type of information that it asked me in the previous one. Dry, all the information on the tank, and I'm just squeezing the trigger to go through everything, expiration date. And then if I needed to verify the data on the tank, I would hit yes, but I don't need to verify it, so I'm going to click no. And then this is going to be test 140, and my target is going to be .036. It's going to ask me to install the mouthpiece, which I've already done. So I'm going to pull the trigger and say yes, mouthpiece is installed. And now it's going to do another blank check, air check that's in my room right now. Again, I should get 000. And I did. And then it's going to ask me to submit a sample. And I pull this out, I put it in here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, squeeze the trigger. It's analyzing the air sample from the tank, and it's .036, which is on the money. Ask me if I'm connected to the printer, which I am, so I'll put it in the docking station and hit enter. Oh, so I didn't have it, the thing, so I'm going to do good test here, but I'm going to do the last calibration. I'm going to squeeze it, and that's what it was. And then I'm going to hit, put it in here, and then I'm going to hit print. Yes. It is in. Sorry about that. Again, very rarely are you doing a calibration. The difference of the two is, let's see if I can find what I had on the ticket. It'll have the accuracy, target range, and all that information. And then on the calibration, the ticket will say calibration. And again, all of the information is in this manual. Less than 140 tests right now. So I'm going to turn off the printer, just a short push. I am going to unscrew my tank. I am going to put my regulator back in its slot and put my tank in its storage bin and put this device back in here. Now, when I first tried to do this video, I had my house set, it was like 68 degrees. So when I went to do the calibration, I got an error that said temperature too low. And that happened to me like when I first got it. It was winter time, and I had to call Alco Pro, and I found out that this machine has to stay in a climate between 71 and 85 degrees, or you'll get that, you know, when you do the calibration, you'll get that error, too low, too high. So what I did was, you know, I kept some hand warmers, and I just placed it on the top right there. I closed it up for 15 minutes and then opened it back up, and it was on the money. So reason I'm telling you that, in case you do a calibration and it says temperature too low, too high, evidently you probably left it in a car that's cold, or a car that was hot, or in my case, my room temperature in my house was 68. So had to get it up to at least 71 to get it started. So thought I'd add that in case that becomes an issue. If you ever have to change the batteries, it's all in the manual. There's little batteries in there. The printer has rechargeable batteries. You just plug it into the wall and it'll charge the printer. Like I said, there's only less than 140 tests on here, so I imagine these batteries in here, regular AA or whatever, I haven't had to change the batteries in here. But in short, that's how the machine works. It's, like I said, got the manuals, training manuals, everything will be included. I hope that helped.